In my last video about blue-ray indigos, I talked about the blue-ray and that combination with an indigo, but it includes starseeds from that blue-ray perspective. And so that difference was really about that indigo part, which I had described, so please do watch that video. But I think it can feel confusing as to the differentiation between a starseed, an indigo, or both. There's many more codes within the DNA. The Magick, as I say, awakens within starseeds and indigos. It's really powerful to confirm for ourselves what we already know. And so today I will share the differentiations of indigos and starseeds, and then what it can mean to be both of these elements and how things weave together, as well as many of us are awakening to this fact that we are connected into that blue ray of consciousness, or that blue ray of frequency. In that last video about blue ray indigos, I focused on that blue ray aspect and what that means. So to further dive into that a little bit, let's just discuss a few more points that I think will correlate nicely into the deeper dive into the indigos and the starseeds and what it can mean to be both of these. So the warriors of the rainbow, or the rainbow warrior prophecy, I think it really describes the entire groups of beings coming into human form from many different classes, meaning diverse sets of humans from all over, both cosmically, all over from Earth, all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of regions, etc. And all are coming in to assist humanity, assist Earth, and all the living beings here in this realm. So I'll get into that in a future video. But I've also spoken about the founder guardian races of beings, and I discussed a little bit about my connection into the great white lions of Sirius. And I mentioned that in this realm, what they've done is they have beings within that realm. And then those beings send through their consciousness to incarnate into human form. So the great white lions, that's just one of the varying guardian founder races that are assisting at this time. But there, of course, are other groups, and many of you already know or are very connected. And so what we're doing is we're sharing these overarching missions, which is essentially to help and assist in this great time of need. So some of these other guardian founder races, you have the Pleiades, the Andromeda, the Arcturians, etc. So this blue ray aspect is a bluish ray of frequency or consciousness, and that is part of the harmonic universe. In fact, human, HU, is harmonic universe man, and man does not mean male. It is something far more magical, so I'll have to talk about that sometime in the future as well. But the reason this blue ray is connected to indigos, as I mentioned in my previous video as well, but it's connected because it forms the original creation blueprint for the body of the 6-dimensional indigo families. So many of us indigos and starseeds have this aspect of the blue ray because it was the first wave of creation blueprint that came from what we could call the prime source, primeval source, the prime creator, God source. This consciousness and frequency is very connected to the number 13, and it's connected to the aspect of the divine solar feminine energy. Really important to underscore solar here, not lunar, and I'll go over that in a future episode too. But many have called this the Mother of God, or Sophia as the Bride of God, but I like to just keep things in the purest form. It's an energy, a frequency, a consciousness. So that's at that natural level. What we're looking at is this consciousness of that mother energy. So that's the blue ray. Let's unlock the indigos a little more. So in that last video I mentioned about blue ray indigos, the indigo ray of creation is also tapped into starseeds. A myth that has been going around for a long time that I never understood, indigos, they're not children. I mean, we are children at one point, but then we grow up. So there's lots of different ages. And every day, there's more and more pouring into this realm. And so there are many children now. In fact, a knowing that's come through is that in 1987, after the harmonic convergence, Anyone that was born after that actually is not coming in with karma at all to prepare for this new earth paradigm, as we call it. So I think that's really interesting. So that would be a huge difference, but that doesn't mean there aren't indigos of all ages or starseeds of all ages, because that is the case. And if you look at the 1700s, the 1600s, there are magical people, and one of them is Bach, which we'll go through in a future episode as well. For indigos, they're coming from higher dimensional realms. What are we here to do? Expose the truth. Help others to see the truth. What has been really going on in the underworld of this realm, the underbelly of this realm. So it's the unseen parts, and we're here to expose those parts. And as I mentioned earlier, the indigos are connected to 6D consciousness frequency. So the 6th chakra is activated fully at birth. Plus, it matches a 6th DNA strand to match. And DNA is multidimensional. So it means that we're tapping into different frequency levels through that 6th strand. No matter which type of indigo, we are sent as representatives of the guardian races. We serve as protectors of the light of the celestial being we call Earth to prevent this planet from descending into a fallen timeline again. Indigos, we have clear sight, a natural connection for what I call ultimate truth, natural discernment abilities through the action of an always-on intuition, as well as we are able to see the right path of action in any given situation. So indigos cut through illusions that have been holding humanity under its spell. So the indigos are drawn to cut through the manipulation, cut through the falsities that stand between humanity and their connection to their clear knowing, their higher selves, and the divine source, ultimate source of original creation blueprint, and the Holy Trinity, which is emanating from God's source and then creates all things. So even with these extra, if you will, connections that we have when we're born, what we know is that we agreed to come into this realm without all of the psychic abilities and other abilities, what I would call magical capabilities, which are just natural aspects of other realms. But we come in with a veil of forgetting. So we also must break free. We must really figure out why we came here. What's the mission? So we can get trapped by the programming of the false religion, the toxic corporate entities, the political BS, the academic institutions. And so we may have access to the innate psychic abilities, but we must also break free. That's how thick the falsities are here. But underlying this all, we want all humans, all beings to have free will, and we will help inform and uncover the lies with the intention and hope that the false light, the false prophets, can no longer manipulate people. And so we want people to make informed, conscious decisions, truly be healthy. And you know what? With this work, we are going to trigger people. It's just part of the mission. So that's just part of it. So there are 3 types of indigos, and I'll break it down. So one I would put into a category of grid workers, Stargate workers, which is the Stargates or portals of entry into this realm. So they're called to working with the dragon lines, often called ley lines, via energy aspects of this density and this energetic realm. So their workings are very imperative to bringing in and protecting those ley lines, dragon lines, and Stargates. The second group, I would say, would fall under this DNA and energy healing arts. So this group of indigos are healers and energy transmitters working directly in the healing arts in their unique format. So each human will have a specific gift of a healing art and will help with the distortions that are embedded in the physical, energetic bodies of all humans and all things. And yes, all things are energy, but there's different ways to work with the what we call matter. So we know that we need to dispel the poison from the energetic and the spiritual and the physical bodies. So I would fit into this category. Now, one thing about this group is this is the group that's going to find that they have mystery illnesses that, boom, show up. And it's because we need to help heal. We need to learn how to heal. How do we do that? We ignite our healing work through our healing. So then there's a third type, the integrators. This is a group of souls that assists in evolving a less evolved soul. So this group will feel this push and pull energy within them. It's like they are literally having a battle within them. And that's what it feels like. What does that do? That causes a lot of anxiety. So there's a spiritual reason for this anxiety, right? And because what they're doing is in their biofield, they're sharing their soul essence within one body, human form. What they're doing is they're integrating these two extremes of this within the same energy field to free that less evolved soul that has been stuck in karmic patterning loops. This is the reincarnational trap that we call karma. And so this group is also helping to heal the genetic manipulation in familial lineages, as well as transmuting the broken DNA because of the DNA experimentation and hybridization that has taken place in this realm from the false, negative, or evil swarm beings that came into this realm and did that. So this group, again, has a lot of they'll feel a lot of anxiety. This is the ADD and what we call in this realm learning or behavior challenges. So that's a feat. So let's talk about starseeds. So a starseed, what is a starseed? So these are souls that have lived or have originated on other planets, potentially even third density experiences, and or coming in from other galaxies, streaming in from what we call spacecraft in other realms or densities. So DNA origins or the location origins can be seen by the varying abilities and traits that come through. So, for example, the Pleiadian, when that frequency is coming in a starseed, they're charismatic teachers. They have high emotional intelligence that just naturally is locked in. The Syrians, for example, they're known to be what I would call, they're the magic in the magical arts. They're the mages, the scribes. And so perhaps mastering the realm of arts of what we would call, quote unquote, science, which I would say is magic, because there's no difference. And these codings of Syrians come in with the mage aspects and are known of what we could also say as creatives. This is actually the stream that I lock into as Indigo Starseed, and why I was called into the creative realm of what we call marketing for my entire corporate experience, and then what I do now is 50% of all of the things I do to serve others. So these are just a couple of examples. Where does your soul stream originate from? Where's your DNA coming in from? So, like Indigos, Starseeds volunteered to assist at this time at the end cycle. So this is an ascension cycle or the harvest cycle, and it's to help humanity, Earth, all living beings to the next phase in the evolution. So the spiritual missions are going to be varied, but they share the primary goal to re-establish sovereignty to souls that desire this and that have been forced into that trapped reincarnation. So this is much like Indigos, and again, someone can be both, as it is just looking at where your soul stream, your soul family frequencies originate. And starseeds also, by the way, are not immune to the challenges of this realm. All starseeds will need to heal and face their own challenges, along with having their own healing journeys in varying ways, however that shows up. But no one is free in this realm from the hurdles, we could say. And starseeds will always feel called to a powerful mission to help heal the earth, raise the collective consciousness, because starseeds actually hold genetic memory from what we would call the future. So serve in humanitarian ways or saving animals, etc., with specific missions to free beings from the spiritual and energetic oppression that we know has been around for a long, long time. And starseeds also can have the codes, like Indigos, of Christ consciousness. And so they're bringing in new templates, the original creation blueprints, to help, and can be also connected to the guardian founder races. And starseeds can also, of course, have the coding of the blue ray. So many of us have activations that can increase this critical mass of all these higher frequencies, anchoring them here to allow the dormant and already there DNA activations to happen in other humans and other beings. So the differences, we could say, I would say, would be in the origination of the consciousness. Where does it stream from? Where's your lineage, essentially? And Indigos really dive into what I would call the underworld or the underbelly, and are called to show what has been actually happening. So we're going to be called to showing the suffering. It's knowing it and seeing it must be seen to be recognized, because this realm has been hijacked by negative, or as I say, the evil swarm. The common thread is we have missions, and we must remember those missions and bring them through in our own unique ways. This is what I say is the unique magic, and this is the innate gifts, the natural born talents, the natural born gifts. To really discover those again, see those, use them. And all, when you're an indigo, when you're a starseed, you're coming in with those codes. And you can, again, be both. And also, you can be with or without a blue ray, specifically. But again, there's a mission, and that mission must be unlocked. The mission overarching that connects us all, binds us all into purpose, is that we are here to assist all of humanity and all the beings, and really getting back to this concept. This locks into the law of one, which is a natural law of the universe, all universes. While the missions are varied and they're going to be creatively expressed differently, because we're all snowflakes. We're designed uniquely. We have unique gifts, what I call unique magic, and will ultimately, or are ultimately, aimed to help free this celestial being's soul, spirit, and the spirits and souls of humanity and other beings to be freed from spiritual and energetic oppression that has been forced by this evil swarm. These factions that continue to oppress, lie, manipulate, control, and have stolen free will from far too many for far too long. So that's the essence that I wanted to share today as to the Indigos, the Starseeds, the overarching mission, and then also the differences in that, and the fact that you actually can be both, and how that can be also connected into the blue ray. So I hope that this video has helped you and will help you to awaken more of your magic. And please subscribe so you can get more videos with the intention to help illuminate the path for all of my fellow Indigos and Starseeds that serve as the pioneers in this massive consciousness paradigm shift. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.